YouTube, welcome in. This is Dune Spice Wars, a real-time strategy game based in Frank Herbert's Dune universe. Part 2 to my Smugglers guide. Let's go ahead and oppose the military upkeep. Yeah, that would be really, really bad. Now, look, I'm gonna forget about this quest, and if you complete a quest that has this gold symbol, you get plus 300 hegemony. So I am just gonna forget about it. I know I am. So even though it's gonna put me over 75, I'm just gonna get it and disband it.
Ready to strike.
So hopefully this guy doesn't die, because he has a lot of money on him. Oh man, we executed that perfectly.
Yes. Ready to strike.
We could not have executed this better.
Okay, let's
Oh my god, we really couldn't have. We did not lose a single unit, guys. Okay, Corrino is attacking me. Let's go ahead and see if we can sneak in a military base.
There's no rush, right?
Guys, we're gonna restart the pillage. That way we have enough time to get that. We're gonna hold off on pillaging this siege until we have scavenger teams. That way we can get that extra juicy 200% bonus. UHQs are officially cheaper. We're still at peace with ECAS. That's super important. We can definitely pillage this spice later. White Rift ECAS is starting to cook, so we absolutely need to prioritize valuable trinkets and Wonders of the Desert, since we're going to start capping specials. We start the pillage before we destroy his spice field. And let's confirm this attack before the units respawn. We want to cripple his manpower. And we can finally... We're going to go for triple blue, actually, because ECAS is in this lobby. And Corrino, and they're clearly doing some political stuff. So, yeah, we just need to help out with our influence and influence production.
Easy target.
We're listening.
Alright, there's that pillage. Corrino's gonna be stuck there for 84 years. I'm not even worried about it.
You won't find better than us.
I do want to get this pillage off too. So we're gonna send our scavenger drone ahead of our units to eat all of the missile turret damage. And then our units will attack the militia. Ooh, unlucky. Alright, let's pull this dude back. Ah, unfortunate. Alright, let's get out of his missile range, hopefully.
What do you want?
What do you need?
You need a sniper?
Yeah, what?
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, pillaging this was a greedy, greedy, greedy play.
Yes.
As long as we're paid. You got it, Chief.
Listening. We'll stay
Oh
hidden.
my god.
What do you need?
We're listening. Yes. Ready to strike.
You got it, Chief.
We'll stay hidden.
Yeah, what?
We're listening. That's a nice spot. Yes.
Chief?
Ready to strike. The path is clear.
What do you need? Can't we take the shuttle?
Yep, so we can just wait to travel.
On it. Listening. Ready to strike.
Oh, let's go! That was close! Whoo!
Need something, Chief?
Alright, worm is gone. Let's head out. Let's get some more water going. Let's buy some more chome.
Yes.
We just got a fuck ton of perks. Let's see if we can heal and go and stop Corrino in time. We have to move our army right now, unfortunately. So we're gonna see if we can just pillage something to fix our supply. We're gonna die. We're gonna die due to lack of supply. So, in order... No, dude, that sucks.
Yeah, what?
Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have just used it here. Dang, that sucks. Alright, this is where we have a lot of extra money, which is phenomenal. Let's see.
Ready to go.
Yeah, I don't want to fight Corrino right now, if I'm being completely honest.
Yes. On report. Listening.
Look, dude, you liberated me. Nice job. Yeah, just to make sure Corrino doesn't base drop me. And our economy has taken off. ECAS is definitely going to build more money here. Wow, he has a nice cook. So we're going to put into chat ECAS White Rift cook. ECAS White Rift cook. Honestly, I think we're gonna be okay. Because I have plenty of authority. And we need to get our Wraith up. Oh yeah, Corrino's going gov, dude. Thankfully, he hasn't pushed any charters yet, which is incredible for me. After we get Wonders of the Desert, we're gonna go for these bad boys. And honestly, we need insider trading in this crazy political lobby. I hate going for that. I'm gonna vote Harkonnen. And then I'm gonna save my influence, just to see, a cautious play. All right. Yeah, so before we're in a state of permanent war, I want to build out all of my UHQs in every single village. Alright, Corrino got a really nice base drop here. These quirks are gonna pop off. So I need to go and pillage those villages to just slow down his capture of them all. This is probably a spice field, so let's go search it. We can have assassinations so happen because Harkonnen's in this lobby. So we absolutely want to push that. And let's see if our agents are proper. So you see that agent was off. We do want more intel. And absolutely it is time to get someone on counterintelligence. That's going to be huge. Let's get our emergency supply drop built. Absolutely. Corrino is no longer a threat for winning on Chom, so that's really nice. We can build a main base building in a second, which will be good.
We're ready. You've called. We kill without warning. We got something to do.
Nice.
You've called. On our way. They won't escape. Up close and personal.
If I could cap Observatory Mountain and contest Corrino there, that would be incredible.
You won't find better
Doesn't
than
seem
us.
like it's gonna happen, so we're just gonna have to capture this Plascrete, which is still really, really nice because we're getting a 30% production boost with an investment office. That'll be 60.
We got something to do. We kill without warning. You won't find better than us. We kill
So
without
that's
warning.
where having my magical teleport really would have come in handy. I sent in my high armor people to absorb the damage. Let's go ahead and pillage Corrino.
Ready to strike. You need a sniper? Listening. They won't see us before it's too late. You need a sniper? We're listening. Yes? Listening. We'll stay hidden. They won't see us before it's too late. We're listening. Ready to strike. We're listening.
Oh.
Already dead.
Guys, you can see classic noob mistake. Not having my emergency teleport. If I had had my emergency teleport, 100% I survived that fight. That's okay.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know every single player. So there's not much I can do.
Listening.
Guys, I think I'm gonna have the votes to get a charter. Just kidding. That's awful.
Need something, Chief?
Uh... Dang, that sucks, guys. That absolutely sucks. Well, short video. Let's go ahead and just talk General Smug's strategy for part 2. So, if you're struggling with water, remember you don't have a annex issue. Authority cost to annex a village suffers no penalty from distance from the siege. So it's super important to utilize that and go ahead and only... Hey, let me pause the game. Oh, it's because of limited pause. So it's really important that you capture villages far off and create almost like little bubbles where you can fly over, pillage, fly away, pillage over here, fly over here, pillage, stuff like that, right? And if factions are too powerful for you to do that, just annex some generic spot that's close to peaceful villages. So Spaceship Cruiser would be a phenomenal annex, not only because it's a special and you can cook on it, but I mean, look at the villages near it. Oh, that's just easy money. Also, it's near Heart, right? Another spice field that you can just pillage super easily. Hopefully you understood the UHQs that I explained. It's also a good strategy to cap specials early and rush for a 10k push. That way you unlock major UHQ installation in people villages. And the first 3 UHQs you install are max money. So whether it's spice because someone has a lot of harvesters, where you steal or where you get 15 spice production per harvester that person has active. So you should build that in whoever has the most harvesters. Hopefully you have a agent on each person and at least 1 intel level on them all. That way you can just come to factions and see who has the most harvesters. If you don't, just really quickly look at the map and see for spice. Fremen typically is hard to see, but you can make something really happen. Okay, and you can see for the major UHQs, after you get the economy bonus ones, the military bonus if you're in combat. Can you explain major buildings and fuel cell units for non-Vernius factions? What exactly are you asking? Major buildings for every single faction? Or fuel cell units for not oh, like what each one does and stuff? Yeah, I can do that really quickly. I don't mind. So major buildings, just like all of them, just like a basic rundown. I can do that if that's what you mean. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just play with the AI for a little bit. We're gonna get kicked out and disconnected soon. So we will not build any military. We'll destroy all of our manpower. We'll peace all of them. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just trading with the AI. Alright, cool. So we have a bunch of plascrete so we can build all the major buildings. So we'll start with the military factory. So pretty straightforward. Your units do 20% more damage And that is all military units. It's not turrets, and it's not the main base. It's only military units specifically. But the Solari upkeep is brutal if you're on factions or if you're struggling with money. Because if you look at my upkeep, I mean, my military with just 30 command points is costing me 42 Solari. So 50%, that would jump to 60. I might as well get a 65 command point army just so we can view the cost. Keep in mind, that's with the 30% upkeep reduction. Okay, so building a nuke. So we'll go ahead and build that. And we will build the spacing guild. And we'll build the economy building. And we'll build the research hub.
We're listening.
Okay, so political plays not really possible with Harkonnen that much unless you really understand all of his blue tech and how you can utilize it to make a insane amount of influence in the late game. However, that is entirely a very niche, specific, rare, hard to pull off strategy. It's not hard to pull off in terms of the micro or technical layout or anything. It's just hard to do in terms of your knowledge. You have to know exactly what you're doing and when to do things. Okay, so with Corrino, it's actually quite easy to do strong political plays. What you need to do is build triple blue. So as Corrino, you build triple blue, and then your major building is one of your blue buildings is this thing called the Emperor's Monument, and that doubles all of the district bonuses in that base specifically. So if you have 150 votes, you build the Emperor Monument in your triple blue base, and you're now sitting at just 400 votes. Another way to farm influence with Corrino is to build a fairly large amount of Sardaukars. I would say, dude, I don't know why Spotify keeps pausing. It's extremely frustrating. I would say you should build around 4, maybe even 5. If you're doing a true gov play, you have to go for a Ramsham and a Sardaukar army. So what you're going to do is build like 6 Sardaukar. So half your army is going to be Sardaukar, and then you're going to get the armory upgrade that makes your conscripts have less health, but they cost less command points. And then you're going to build half conscript riflemen and half conscript swordsmen. And you're going to make sure that you have the not live reformation. That's not really useful in terms of if you're going a Sardaukar army, because you care more about boosting your Sards. So instead of getting live reformation, which is the health split, which is normally what you do if you're building a Wensisia army, but for a Ramsham influence grind army, you're going to want to get the armory upgrade that boosts non-conscript units. So you're going to go for cheaper units and then +1 armor for non-conscript units on both of them. So your Sards get that nice +2 armor from your conscripts helping. Also, your Sardaukar get extra attack speed for each unit around it. So that is where the cheaper command point units come into play, because you want more units around them to boost their attack speed even more. And then they get 5 influence per execution. So it is a lot of technical micro, but if you have the energy, you have the time, you have the like pacing and nothing else is really going on, what you'll do is you'll run your starter car into sieges and you'll run them into renegade bases. And so typically what you can do is if you know where two sieges are, rather than pillaging them, what you end up doing is building an airfield directly on them, a military base, and a turret, preferably close to the siege if you can, maybe even two since you're Corrino. And you attack the siege. You have your conscripts in front, your conscript swordsmen. They, along with the riflemen, do a bunch of damage, and you can have your sards there too. Absolutely, have your sards with the swordsmen. But once they siege units get around half health, you're going to stop your conscript riflemen and your swordsmen from attacking. Even a Ramsham, unless his... no, a Ramsham can execute. Oh, but he doesn't get +5 influence when he executes, I think. So yeah, you'll even back off a Ramsham. And you have your Sards finish off all 8. And that's 40 influence. Because each execution will give you... will give you 5 influence. And so, on top of getting an insane amount of 400 votes, building influence production buildings on your borders, if you can, you want to drop your second base, or whenever possible, if you're going Gov for Corrino, you want to drop your second base somewhere extremely safe, because you're going to be base killed when you win Gov, or they're going to go for it. So it's important for you to go ahead and do either a double base drop directly next to each other. It'll hurt your quirks in terms of maximizing that, in terms of the bonuses you'll get from your technology. But whatever, it'll buff. So what you end up doing is just getting border defense and just really making sure that your economy is strong early on, so that you can afford to just max out turrets and military bases and buying Sardaukar when you end up losing and paying the 500 Solari for orbital strike repeatedly. And so Observatory Mountain is crucial for Corrino if it's at all possible for you to get, because what you can do, you with Princess Irulan get to build double of any building anywhere once. So what you do is you build double intel and you build double influence. Depending upon the quirks, you'll either build an investment office to get the bonuses from that, or if it's late game and you're kind of good on authority and you don't have a special where you can cook extra, you might even consider building your... whatever the building is that boosts production 20% for 1 authority upkeep. You might even consider building 2 of those and doubling it for 6 statecraft here. But that's only really if you're confident you can win on hegemony without it being that close. And you would rather prioritize having more orbitals for defense and more sandworms. Because pretty much every single attack, if you're going for Gov, trying to stop a base kill, you're going to spend 900 intel pretty much every single time they attack. The reason for that is because you have to pay for orbital, you have to pay for a thumper, you have to pay for... there's this intel operation that gives your buildings and mechanical units +2 armor, so that's important if you're defending for a base kill. And then you might need supply drop if you're doing some sort of like forward deployment to try to stop them, using Kronos or something. So that's where that last 100 comes in. If there's a Fremen or Vernius, you might have to spend the 50 for a radar scan so that you can see the Vernius's engineers or Fremen's units, even Harkonnen to see his Cerberus before they reach you. So your intel as Corrino, because you're such a defensive, base kill, risky faction in the late game, if you're going Gov or even Hedge, it's important to have a crazy intel production. At least 30 is like important. Like, you need at least 30. And you can get that by making sure that you're getting agents, making sure you get spying logistics early. If statecraft developments half off shows up in the Lance Red Council, it's fantastic to get spying mastery. All almost every single match just get spying mastery if statecraft becomes half off. Otherwise, I don't really get it. That's Corrino, guys. So that is a crazy quick 30-minute smuggler tech explained smuggler major buildings and Corrino major buildings. Now let's finish off these smuggler major buildings. So our nuke is almost ready. So with the nuke, you have to construct the building. It's extremely expensive, so it's best if you build it on building construction cost minus 40. And if it's ever mid or late game, and buildings get activated for half off, it would be a good idea to prioritize trying to build it really quickly during the half off Lance Red Council. And if I was really trying, I would build an investment office on this village to double the cheaper cost to 80, and then I would build the nuke to make it super cheap. And that's the case for any major building outposts. Now that we have our nuke, so you build it, it takes a long time to build. Costs 10 fuel and 3 water upkeep with 20 Solari. So if there's ever Sandfall, that's also a good village to put this in, because with the upkeep being 20, that's going to boost the knowledge bonus that you get from Sandfall. And that's also for other major buildings. So once you build it, you have to spend 5 grand to upgrade it. Now, I don't know how many days it takes to build a nuke. I think it's 10, but I'm not quite sure. So when you launch it, you drop your standing by 500. They take 4,000 damage. They suffer worse production for 20 days, a whole council. And main bases take less armor for 20 days, or they have less armor. So with nukes, what you can do is a really, really, really nice play where if it's mid game and you just don't care about standing, let's say some crazy things happened, maybe there's an Atreides in the lobby, you had to betray him when he forced truce to you, you're just screwed on standing. So it's important to use nukes if your standing is already ruined. Another thing, if you start using nukes, you need to capture the villages around your base, because every 20 days, Lance Rad judges or maybe punishers, I don't know. Lance Rad punks show up and attack your base, and 100% over the course of probably 3 or 4 times of them dropping, which is only 3 months, your base will die. Absolutely. And so what you need to do is make sure that you pay attention to when you launched your nuke and when your standing went down to 0, and the date that it happens. And so whenever it happens, you look at the date. And if you miss it the first time, that's fine. Whenever they end up spawning the first time, just look at the date really quickly, and that's how you can find out what it is. And then you just have to track it. And whenever 18 days happens or 19 days, you fly back to your main base and make sure your whole army is there. And you have to immediately attack them when they spawn. And that's how you can protect your base over the course of time. If you have political power, it's important to prioritize the Spacing Guild resources, which will heal your base and give it extra armor, even if you're full health. It's important to prioritize it if you're nuking, because they're going to show up before the next council, most likely. And so yeah, you might as well get the bonus and keep your base full health even after that upcoming attack. And then you want to build all militia in the villages around your base, and you want to build turrets. Preferably, you want to get your turrets as close to the front of the siege because that's where they spawn typically. And that's how you really utilize nukes to the most of their capability in terms of making sure you don't screw yourself over. If you're smugglers, it's great to prioritize tech that increases your lance red standing to try to maybe stay above 100. Very, very unlikely, but you might be able to get back up above 100. Remember that Chome is impossible if you start using a nuke. So if you're going for a Chome win con, it will ruin it if you nuke. And also, it can be good if you have a bunch of Chome and you launch a nuke. Typically, after the first nuke launch, you just sell all your Chome. Because it's only going to go down if you start selling your Chome. And it's only going to go down after taxes and things like that. Unless you're dealing with like a Harkonnen buying Chome or smugglers, and the longer you wait, the more the price will go up. It's just not worth it to hold on to your Chome. So yeah, if you nuke, just immediately sell all, in my opinion. Times in which you wouldn't want to do that would be if maybe it's a hedge race and maybe you're getting to 25k, it's the late game, and you have 15 Chome. If you don't need the money for selling Chome after you nuke, don't sell it. Hold on to it. The reason for that is maintaining 10% gives you +2 influence, and also you gain a fat chance. In the Landsrad Council, there's this thing called Chome something, where if you sell off Chome, each share gives you 3 hegemony. So that can be the difference between winning and losing in terms of a really close hedge match. If you have more Chome than your hedge contender, and that pops up and you win it and make sure that it passes, you're able to, look at this. If he had 27 Chome when it happened, he would get 1,000 hegemony, which is a crazy, crazy boon in the late game if you're already above 25k. So with the nukes, best to utilize the nuke and actually make it happen. It's kind of a nasty trick. I don't do this because I think it's like lame. But if you honestly, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. So we're just gonna move on to something else. Also, I will show up in 5 minutes. Will you let the lobby know I'll be there in 5 minutes? And if anyone else shows up, please let them know that you're holding my spot. Please, 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 please. So with this nuke, the radius around it is that 4,000 damage. So units and buildings close to the explosion take that 4,000. And then in the area, they suffer. So close to the explosion, I'm honestly not sure which circle it is, if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to assume it is the dotted lines, but it could be that central area. So what I'll do is I'll do 2 tests. We're only going to have the nuke hit the edge of his base, and we'll see how much damage it does. If it does the full 4k, then it's the circle. If it doesn't, we know it's the inside. But if it doesn't activate, we'll have to do another test to see if it's this or this. Okay, no damage taken, so we'll have to do another test and see what the dealio is.
Hello?
My economy just shattered. I don't need any more knowledge. I don't need any more manpower. I don't need a spacing guild. I don't need a research hub. I don't need any more plascrete. Ecas, give me all your money. Arc, give me all your money. Alright, perfect. We're building another nuke. We'll do another test here in a second.
Listening.
Okay, hopefully that's nukes explained. So two last things I'll say about them is if there is an ECAS in the lobby, you you can save and reload your game before the nuke. Oh, whatever. Too late. Oh, wait, Solja, you're so right. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll just do that on the next one. And so with the nuke, if there is an ECAS in the game, they have an operation called a Leica Fog, which makes you unable to control units in a region if they're in combat once the operation is cast. So you have to watch out that if ECAS has a nuke, or really anyone, if you're the hedge leader and people are targeting you and working together, if ECAS doesn't have a nuke, but they're working with Harkonnen, or whoever the other opponent is, you have to watch out for that Leica Fog. And the other person, so in this case Harkonnen, using their nuke. And with the Leica Fog, you could have a 65 max XP command point army with your spaceship attacking ECAS, and it gets nuked. And so the Leica Fog makes it to where you can't save your units. You can't escape it. Because otherwise, if a nuke gets launched, the alert happens, you click it, you move all your units right away, and you escape the nuke. The other thing with nukes is defense breaches. So if you want to nuke a base to do damage and kill it, it's better to use defense breaches first before you launch the nuke. So maybe Atreides.gov, you're doing a last minute base kill or something. You see less armor on the base and plus 50% damage received by the main base. So super important you launch this before the nuke. That way it takes a 50% more damage from the nuke for 6k rather than 4. Another thing with nukes that I almost forgot to mention is decapping. So nukes have a important thing where in the late game they're crucial because you can use them to stop captures, right? So maybe someone's annexing something and they're about to complete it, and once they annex it, the game wins. Or maybe they're liberating you and you're about to win, but if you lose that village, you're gonna lose. Something like that, right? So let's say I am attacking Harkonnen here, and I'm liberating his village. So if you're nuking, after you nuke a village, it gets some negative debuffs. So it can't be attacked for 4 days because it's like irradiated, I think. And so in the late game, 4 days isn't actually that long. So after something gets nuked, you have to pay attention and be ready to go back after 4 days, because typically nukes are used on the most crucial territories and moments. Now, if we take a look at this annex, if I launch my nuke right now, there's no possible way to keep this annex going because there's just not enough time. However, what you can do if they wait to launch their nuke until the annexation is near the end, you can actually sacrifice some units to keep the annex going. It's really, really cool. Oh, wait. I forgot. I'm attacking. Okay. We'll showcase that in a second. Other major buildings, I'm pretty sure I covered them all. I mean, the research hub, fairly self-explanatory, plus 50% resource production, but a lot more, but barely any more upkeep. This is phenomenal if you are a wide faction. This is pretty much useless for smugglers because you have so few villages to where it's just not worth it. because of the upkeep cost and the plascrete and Solari investment you put into it. If your economy is just booming and it's near the late game, sure, whatever, build it, who cares? But it's never something you prioritize. Oh crap, am I still coming? I completely forgot. Hold on, give me 2 more minutes to explain this nuke and then we'll dip. So you can see this annexation's almost going through. If he nukes it and all my units die, the annexation won't go through and it'll stop. So if it stops, then it gets irradiated. But it doesn't automatically get irradiated if the annexation keeps going. So what you do is you send in your units to run back on it very quickly. And look at that, we keep the annex going. So that's how you counter someone trying to stop an annexation with a nuke in the late game. This is actually something I learned watching a video Cream made. I do not like that guy on a personal level whatsoever, but he also streams Dune Spice Wars. Check him out if you're interested in another Dune Spice Wars streamer. His Twitch is Cream the Legend. He has a YouTube. He also has a circuit Discord that he runs that's a pop-in place for Dune Spice Wars. Look that up. I'll have a link in this. Or just kidding. I left the circuit, so I don't have it.
We're listening.
Chief?
Okay, oh, I forgot to save so that I could relaunch the nuke and do the test. Whatever, we'll see what happens. Guys, that is Smugglers tips and tricks. Corrino in detail explained. All major buildings covered. The yellow building, fairly simple. The yellow major building just boosts the production rate of all the villages that it touches and the one that it's in. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. If you're still here, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!